This episode is sponsored by the Losing It merch store.
Yeah,
right,
we've got merch, guys, and we know how to use it. This week, we're looking at Little Nelsie Pocket Logo T-shirt. I love this one. First of all, I love this logo that Ronnie got co-designed, kind of, I think, right? Didn't you co-design that?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's so... I friggin' love the logo. And I love how great the pink looks on the white. It really pops. It's really cute. And get it now, $18.99. Go to nelsiespencer.com and upper right, you'll see merch. Click on that. Take you right to Spreadshirt. And we got all sorts of stuff, too. So go there now. Mugs. Hats. You're going to have to get one of them hats.
Oh, yeah, right here. This hat right here.
That tie-dye T-shirt I love. Yeah, look at that.
That is a cool hat.
Look at that. Yeah, we're going to get that hat for Ronnie.
Look at that.
Look at that. Excellent.
All right.
Go there now. Losing It merch. Gotta love it. There's the minimal hat.
Buy it.
That's all I got. Buy it. And shut up. We love you.
Losing it. I think that's good.
Okay.
Losing it. If you got a story, we don't care if it's happy or gory. So
we're just starting with
come
hi,
share
welcome to, right?
your losing it story with us.
Hi guys, welcome to Losing It with Nelsie Spencer. That's me. And this is the podcast where my guests come on and they tell a losing it story with, guess what, a theme about losing it. Yep, do the math. It's not that complicated. And I'm joined with my wonderful, amazing partner in crime, Mr. Ronnie Whaley. Hello, Ronnie.
Hello. How's it going?
How are you?
Good. Less hair.
Yeah, less hair, but you still have a hat on.
I do. I'll take it. I'll take it off.
Still wearing the hat. Yeah, take the hat off. Come on, give us a... Okay, side view. Let me get a side view.
Here you go, side view. You see?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I did something there. Yeah. You can't really tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I left a little on the top.
You gotta leave a little on the top.
Yeah, a little Ernie action.
You have hair that doesn't get longer, it gets bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gets puffier.
Yeah. Puffier. So how have you been?
Good. Busier.
What's new?
Not a whole lot. Had that mishap earlier. Probably maybe not talk about that. But yeah, other than that.
Everybody wants to know. A mishap involving a celebrity. So interesting, but we can't tell you. Yeah, we're in the know.
Yeah.
We're in the know. Yeah. I'm just looking at my daughter's diploma behind me, and I love that because you can't see it. Oh, yeah, you can see it. Because somebody, a guest we had recently was like, oh, you went to Syracuse? I was like, no, but I do want people to think that. So I have a story to tell.
Oh, sorry, that was my phone.
What happened? You didn't put it on airplane mode?
I did not.
Ronnie, what have I told? Have I taught you nothing?
I'm so sorry.
I taught you nothing. My God. See, he's very popular now. So, you know how I think everybody knows about my dog, Callie, and that she's a little bit of a crazy dog. And that I walk her every morning, and it doesn't matter what the weather is. And this morning I'm walking her. It's 18 degrees out with the wind chill. Got my snow boots on, not a big deal. Walking her over to see Gunner. Gunner is her boyfriend.
Oh,
Gunner is 110-pound silver lab. And he's like this.
Silver?
Silver. It's kind of a new color. He's like the color of a Weimaraner. You know what Weimaraners look like?
What?
Okay, you're just gonna have to insert pictures here.
Okay, so like a dish or What is that?
Weimaraner is a beautiful kind of short-haired dog. Looks like a lab a little bit, but a little bit more wiry and like a little bit more nervous. Yeah.
It sounds like a really old contraption.
Yeah. Oh my God. Honey, where's the Weimaraner?
Yeah, exactly. I need it for dinner. I need it for the pasta.
I broke my whatchamacallit. I need the Weimaraner.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're a beautiful dog. They're this gray color and they have like seafoam green eyes. And there's this artist named William Wegman who used to do all these he's a photographer. And the only thing he would photograph was his Weimaraners and books that are only his Weimaraners.
Wow.
I know these little pieces of trivia but some listeners will go, yeah, I know. Some listeners are like yelling, William Wegman. So anyway, Gunner is like if a Weimaraner had a thyroid problem. He's big, he's got like a thick neck and he's a lab and he's got a little extra meat on him. But he and Callie are best friends. They'd be boyfriend and girlfriend if she hadn't lost her ovaries. Yeah. She's physically capable, but not interested. I don't have ovaries. Yeah, get off of me. Yeah. So we go over to Gunner's house every day, and we unlock the gate, and we go into his backyard, and the two of them run around the yard. If you go to my personal Instagram account, you will see way too many videos of the two of them. And they run around like crazy. And I'm always keeping an eye. And Callie's really fast. And they'll be running, like biting each other's necks. And I'm usually make sure that I have my back to them, so I can watch them so they don't take me down.
Wait, because you're holding a leash.
No, she's not on leash.
What do you mean
in the
take you down?
Stick with me.
Okay.
I'm talking on the phone or I'm listening to a podcast. And they're just frolicking and chasing each other around. There's a big shed in the backyard, and they chase each other around the shed. Okay. Like, that's what dogs do. And so today I'm listening to a podcast. Actually, I'm listening to Lindsay's podcast. We met at Acme. Lindsay's going to be on in a couple of weeks. And I'm listening to her podcast, and they come up behind me, the two of them running as fast as they can, and they, boom, take my legs out.
Oh, what?
They take my legs. Yeah. They take my legs out and I go flap, like on my back, flat on my back on the frozen ground.
On the ground or on the
I was on grass. But it's been below freezing. Grass. Frozen with, this much snow on top, like 2 inches.
Oh, okay. That's not grass anymore.
And no, it's not grass anymore. It's frozen. And I go down and I hit the back of my head.
Oh.
And I get the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It was a little scary. I was lying there going, oh, I might really be hurt. Fuck, I might really be hurt. And Gunner comes over. He's like, what are you doing? You're on the ground. That must mean you want to play. So he grabs my hood, the hood of my coat, and he starts to pull it away. And I'm like, no.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God. This is dragging.
Get out of here. Right.
And you usually walk the dog in the morning, right? So this is like...
This is this morning.
This morning.
This morning.
Oh my gosh.
This morning. 18 degrees, thwap.
Jeez.
My 64-year-old body, but I'm very, very fit. And so I'm lying there. Gunner grabs my hood. I'm like, Gunner, no. And I grab his snout and I push him away. And then I don't know if you remember, but Liam Neeson used to be married to Natasha Richardson, famous actress. They went on a ski trip as a family. She fell. They were standing in line to get on the ski lift. Her skis went out from under her. She fell back, hit her head. 2 hours later, she died because she had a brain bleed and nobody knew it.
Wait, I didn't hear about this.
You were probably 8 at the time, Ronnie. I mean,
wait, is this recently? It was a while ago.
This is within the last 10 years, maybe 12 years.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you were a child.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're on a family ski trip. Oh, mommy hit her head. No big deal. 2 hours later, mom's dead.
Oh my God. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what do I think when I'm lying on the ground and Gunner's trying to steal my hood? Natasha Richardson.
Gosh. Holy crap.
Like, right? I just have a quick thought, brain bleed. Like I'm going out.
It's over. It's over. Done for.
And the funny thing is, when I told Malcolm the story, he's like, "Really, Mom? That's what you thought?" Like he thinks like. So
I'm like that too, though. Honestly, like
right?
I'm like, what is it called? Hypochondriac. I'm a hypochondriac.
Hypochondriac.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I've been to the emergency room multiple times, and they've just been like, "There's just nothing wrong with you." You know,
go home.
Like,
but one time you went and you had an anxiety attack, and that is something wrong with you.
Yes, that was.
Right?
But then the other times it was like, I have like a rash, or like, my breathing is weird. Can I just see a doctor? Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a real thing about going to the doctor. I was saying like the hospital was like, I felt safe in the hospital because if anything were to happen, I'd be right there. And it was a weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a weird phase. There was one time I couldn't sleep because I was afraid. This is like when I was in the 7th grade. I was afraid to go to sleep because I thought I would die. I couldn't control anything. In my sleep, so I was afraid to go to sleep. So one time I was up for like a day and a half, and like my dad had to like be there to help me fall asleep and stuff. Yeah, crazy. I don't know.
And was anything weird going on like in the family that would have? I mean, you don't have to tell me what it is, but that would have hiked things up. You know what I mean? That it would have made you like have this hyper nervousness.
No, but that was the year I was homeschooled for the first time. But but I think I'm also just naturally kind of neurotic and paranoid. So, I mean, that I think also I was going through puberty at the same time. So a lot of things.
How do we all, most of us survive it, but yeah, puberty, it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Homeschool, suddenly fear of dying in your sleep. Interesting that. Yeah. So the homeschooling didn't last.
No, it didn't last. It didn't last. It was only that 1 year, and then I went back. But you know, I still carry a lot of anxiety. That's why, like, you know, I had that panic attack we were talking about before. I still carry a lot of anxiety. Just, you know, I've grown and developed ways to cope with it, and you know, mental awareness for myself. You know,
yeah,
you know, it's all part of it. Like I used to think that meditation was some like voodoo stuff, and then I try it, and I really, you know, go all in. And it really works. You know, I almost fainted the first time I meditated, and I found out that my blood pressure dropped super fast.
That is so crazy because my husband Doug was just talking about there's this new machine that's to help lower your blood pressure, and all it is helping you breathe properly. And if you do it for 20 minutes, 5 times a week, I mean, I don't know why you would need a machine to tell you how to breathe properly, but I think it must be biofeedback. So it tells you when you're breathing properly and you know that your blood pressure is going down. And it absolutely works and lowers your blood pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, no duh.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the meditation I do is guided breathing, you know, exercises.
Yeah, it's so funny because my big brother Dick, he was a big meditator. He doesn't meditate anymore, but he started meditating in like after he got colon cancer in 2003 maybe, or 2002 something. No, it was earlier than that. Anyway, somewhere along the line, he was meditating, and those were the days where it was like meditation, like it's voodoo or it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, then I started doing, and now like fucking everybody meditates, you know. It's like you know the guy behind the Home Depot counter meditates. You know, nothing against Home Depot, but you know what I mean? It was a fringe thing. Yeah. But now it's like if it's almost like if you don't meditate, it's like, get on board. And
I mean, that's how like I should be doing it every day, but honestly, I used to do it every day. When I was going through those panic attacks that would last like I would last my whole day. So like I would have like an 8-hour panic attack. I would meditate that whole day. You know, so I would have I would use the Calm app, And I would just have that on and just meditate the whole day. And then, after I was medicated, I realized that, I should not be dependent on, it's helping me now, but I should not be dependent on this. And I need to find a natural way to cope, right? So meditation was something I really started to practice. Nowadays, I am not as strict on myself, and I probably should be. So, I try to do as much as I can. I probably like once a week at most. Yeah.
Well, I've gotten pretty good, and I have this one guided meditation that I really like, and I do it 5 out of 7 days, and It's 24 minutes. It's a nice long one. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's like anything. When you do it, you're like, God, that was great. But then we always put it off, whether it's working out or,
Absolutely.
So where were we?
Yeah, that took a weird turn.
Brain bleed, right? So which led us into hypochondriacism, okay. So I'm lying there thinking that I'm going to be Natasha Richardson and die right there as my dog watches me. I don't really think that. But then I get up and I'm standing like I'm leaning against the shed, which is where I usually hang out because the sun will get me in the morning. And then I know that if I'm close to the shed, I'm usually aware that they could take me down. But today I wasn't paying attention and they took me down. So I'm leaning there and I open my eyes and they're both just sitting there looking at me. And that never happens. And they're like,
do you think they were like,
what's going
concerned?
on?
Yeah.
I think they were like, her energy's different.
Yeah, there's some
what's
different.
What's the problem? Yeah, I think they could feel this shift in me. The I'm going to die shift was vibrating off of me.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe.
And then I walked over to the gate to leave, and Callie never comes. I always have to catch her. She follows me over, and I stand there, and I just kind of weep, like just more like a release than anything, it's just like, and I put her on her leash, and I came home. And I'm going to be sore tomorrow morning, but I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if it happened this morning, it hasn't hit you yet. It hasn't really hit you yet.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, I can tell it's on my right side. I mean, I feel like I was lucky that I went down like this. Boom. That I didn't twisty down,
Oh, true. Yeah.
Right. But, so that's my story. That's my story. Got to pay attention. Do not turn your backs on your dogs ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 165 pounds coming at me. With the two of them
the two of them. I was going to say one dog. I mean, like, what kind of, is that dog's on steroids?
He's 110. He's big. But Callie's only 45. I guess it's 155, so I can't do the math. Yeah. Just took me down.
That's big, though.
That's big, right?
That's
and
really
I'm
big.
about 109.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
I'm more than half of you. I'm more than twice as you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've gained weight, so I'm like a 240 something now.
Jeez. See, the funny thing about Ronnie, you could be, I only know Ronnie from like mid-chest up, right? For all I know, you could be a merman. You know what I mean? You could have just fins down there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm actually 6'1" and like 240 pounds, so I am huge.
You're 6'1". That is crazy.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you know me from the waist down because you've seen me on Instagram and stuff, but.
No, but I've seen your show on the One Woman Show. So I've seen the whole profile.
Yeah, you've seen me move around. Yeah, you saw Day of the Dead Daddy. Yeah. So yeah. Wow, 6'1", 240. Yeah. Well, I'm just glad it was those dogs and not you taking me out. That's all I can say.
That's a different story.
Because I would be Natasha Richardson right now if it had been you. I
think authorities might have been involved if that were the case. I would never do that.
No, you would never. Not knowingly, but what if you were frolicking?
Yeah, true. I frolic all the time.
Ronnie Whaley, known frolicker. Oh, yeah. So that was my morning. It was And like I said, I'm absolutely fine. But if I do die mysteriously, you'll know it's not mysterious. You'll just go.
We'll blame the
Brain bleed.
dogs. Yeah.
Yes.
Where are the dogs at?
Yeah. Who let the dogs out? So what are we doing? Are we ready to intro our guest? Speaking of dogs.
Speaking of animals.
Speaking of dogs, speaking of animals, speaking of an amazing, amazing person, another Instagram find, another person who I'm going to get on the phone with the Pope and talk about sainthood. And I don't mean that. Usually I say that jokingly, but not with this guy. He is an animal savior. His focus is on cats, but he saves dogs. I mean, he saves possums. If he sees that an animal is in trouble, he goes and saves that animal. I'm not going to say any more because our interview was amazing. And his name, he's on Instagram under Black Noah 1, and his name is Calvin Tucker. That's it. So hi, everybody. Welcome. Well, let me try that again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Losing It with Nelsie Spencer. So glad to be here. So glad that you guys are here. I'm really excited because I have a person, my guest today is this iconic figure. He's this brave, just amazing example of what we can do if we just decide we're going to do it. And I'm going to learn more about him and more about how he came to do what he's doing. He is a completely devoted animal rescuer, and I stumbled upon him on Instagram where he goes by the name of Black Noah. And in real life, his name is Calvin Tucker. So I'm so glad that he's here. Hi, Calvin.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, so glad to have you here. So you have your Hawks hat on, which I feel like you wear a lot. Is that right?
Big Atlanta Hawks fan, big Baltimore Ravens fan in football. So, I keep it in the air. Bird game.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me about football. Talk to me about why you love the Hawks. How are they doing this year? Or how did they do? Because Super Bowl is right around the corner, yes?
Well, that's the Ravens. The Hawks are a basketball team.
So I know nothing.
That's NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. That's my favorite team since a kid. The Baltimore Ravens is my favorite football team. Big fan. I bleed purple. We play Saturday at 7:15. We play the Buffalo Bills. I'm very, very, very excited about this game. Lamar Jackson, he's the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right on Lamar.
Played at Louisville. He won the MVP last year. Only 24 years old. Turned 24 about 5 days ago. So still a young guy, and he is just awesome. So he won his first playoff game this past Sunday.
Awesome.
Only his third year in the league.
Wow.
I'm very excited about this game. Being a Ravens fan for the last 19 years, I am very, very excited.
So you got to explain this to me. So right now you're in Atlanta.
I'm in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, you're in Birmingham, Alabama. But did you say Atlanta somewhere in there, right?
Atlanta Hawks is my favorite.
The Atlanta Hawks. Team. Okay. So I thought you were in Alabama, but Atlanta Hawks is your favorite NBA team. But you follow a Baltimore football team?
And I was born in Compton, California. That's crazy,
kidding?
Right?
Are you kidding me? Are you straight out of Compton?
Not even an LA fan. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Did you know I'm from California? I grew up in suburbs of California.
Well, I grew up in the inner city in Compton.
Baby, I know of Compton. I've driven through it, but I didn't grow up in Compton, and that's
great place to visit, but you don't want to stay.
Yeah. And when did you leave Compton?
I left early, so that's why Alabama is my home. I left at about I was a baby. I was a kid.
Yeah. And were mom and dad like, we got to get the hell out of Compton?
Mom was from here. and she went out there, and I was born out there, and her parents, my grandparents, were still here, so she wanted to come back and help take care of them as they got older.
Yeah, yeah, and she was maybe more of an Alabama gal than she was a city gal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So, how many siblings do you have?
I have a brother and a sister, both older.
So you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
I'm the baby. I have two older brothers. So were you babied a little bit? Were your mama's favorite?
I think my siblings would think so. I think my
Right?
siblings, I think they would think so. I probably was.
Right? Isn't that always the way? The siblings.
I'm a mama's boy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a mama's boy. Even though I kind of got out there in the streets a little bit, but no matter how far I got out in the streets, I always came back. I never crossed that line. So I even though I hung around really, really rough and tough guys, I always was a mama's boy still.
Did you run? So you ran wild a little bit?
Oh, ain't no doubt. Absolutely. That's why this is my testimony.
Oh,
that's
my
why,
Lord.
By saving animals.
Oh.
My testimony, and that's why I take this so seriously.
Yeah.
I ran pretty wild.
Yeah. I want to get, I can't wait to hear more about that. But one of the things that always fascinates me, whenever I see one of the things that I love to do is to watch videos of people who are dedicated to animals in some form or another. And there's a lot of people like that on Instagram. And whenever I watch them, I always wonder what makes them tick. I always want to know a little bit about their background. So I really can't. So that's part of the reason I want to go, okay, Compton, and then you're the baby and, mama's boy, and you ran wild a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your running wild days, if you're comfortable with that.
A lot of gang banging.
Wow. So serious shit.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. Rolling 60 Crip. Dabbled in drug selling. Ran with killers, drug dealers.
Wow. And was this in your teens and 20s?
Yeah, teens, early 20s. Teens, early 20s. Trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Come from a great home, both parents. I see a lot of friends that I grew up with. They didn't have, the father in the home. I was blessed to have my father in the home.
So mom and dad are still together.
Mom and dad are still together.
And that's so great.
Mom worked at a hospital. Dad was the head chef of a very exclusive fancy restaurant. So
no kidding.
It wasn't like we was far from rich. But there was nothing that I lacked. I had name brand everything growing up. They tried to shield me from that, but the streets just called me, and I was fascinated by the older guys, and I just got caught up with it. But
sure,
God spared me because He knew I had a purpose in this life. So I would leave the house going to hang with known killers. Known drug dealers.
Oh, and did your mom and dad, did they know sort of how deep in you were and how dangerous things were for you?
Yeah, once the house got shot up, they knew.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they knew then.
So you're hanging with these gangbangers, and your actual house where your mom and dad and your siblings were got shot at.
Shot in. Correct.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And what was anybody hurt?
No, nobody was hurt. I was into it with a rival gang, and I was at some friends' houses, and this was the days of beepers. This tell you how far ago this was, pagers. And I think my mom paged me and let me know that the house had just gotten shot in. So she was the only one there at the time. So I immediately rushed home, and I knew who did it because I knew who I was feuding with. So
yeah. And was that when things turned around for you, or was that just one thing that maybe began to make you change?
Without incriminating myself, that didn't make it change. The retribution part came after that.
Right.
They hit you, you hit them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you how God worked. This particular person who shot in the house.
Yeah.
We became enemies over some gang stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He later went to jail for shooting in another house.
Yeah.
He did like 10 years. He came home. I saw him and his two of his friends in the mall. Now, this is 10 years has passed.
Right.
At this point, I've changed my life, but I don't know where he's coming from. This is the first time we've seen each other since, several shootouts, things of that nature. We basically, and we keeping it real here. We basically tried to take each other off the face of the earth for 2 years.
My Lord.
And nobody got hurt.
Wow.
So I saw him at a mall. And he came over to me and asked did I know who he was. And I said, of course I know who you are. And he apologized. He told me he wanted to apologize to my mom. Said he had changed his life. He asked, could he pray for me? And while he praying, I got one eye open, head bowed, one eye open, like I don't kind of trust this guy, but he ended up being sincere. And I actually got him a job. And,
wow.
A friend of mine was like, man, this is unbelievable. You and this, because he know the history between me and this guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, y'all tried to kill each other for 2 years. And here you are, you got him a job. And where I was living at the time had 2 home invasions.
Oh my God.
Not my home.
Yeah.
In the apartments below me.
And let me ask you a question. When he wanted to pray for you, had you found your way to God yet?
I was totally changed.
You were already changed, or that moment changed you?
No. I had been gave my life to God. This was 10 years.
Oh, got it.
10-year gap. Yeah, God had totally changed my life. At that time, I'm working with kids. I'm giving back to the community. I'm doing, turkey drives for the elderly. At that point, I was totally changed. Fantastic. I didn't know where he was coming from.
Yeah.
I ended up getting him a job, and these apartment complexes where I lived at, there was 2 home invasions on the bottom floor, and I didn't know what was going on. The only thing I heard was, some people was tied up and things of that nature. So I called him knowing how he used to be and say, hey, some home invasions, I need some protection. And without any resistance, he came and, he brought me something to protect my home. So, it's just funny how God works, that he and I were such enemies.
Yeah.
And we ended up helping each other out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there was no animosity. We just swept it up. It was like it never happened because he had truly found God and I did, and we just left it alone. It was like we left it alone.
That's gorgeous. That's so beautiful.
And now, if I call him, he would come flying.
Oh my Lord. That's so fantastic. That's nothing but God. And of that group, that group of gangbangers that you were either on your side or the other side of that group, are you guys a pretty unusual story? Like, are most of the guys from those days either dead or in jail or found or what percentage of them have found some sort of a better path?
I have 40 friends that died from gunplay.
Oh,
gun violence.
God.
I have 40 that died in the late 80s, early 90s from gun violence. I have a few friends that's doing life in jail, maybe 3 or 4 friends that's doing life. I have some that's doing, other numbers, 25, whatever. And I would say the majority of people changed. They're now working. Good jobs. Some went to the military. Some have been working for the post office for 20 years.
Yeah.
A lot of us changed our lives for the better, and
but a huge percentage of them were killed or ended up in jail.
Oh yeah, I like I said, I just wrote down one night how many friends I lost, and it was 40.
So oh my God, Calv, I'm so sorry, but my God, you're such a, I don't want to be, sound like a cliche, but you are such an inspiration, and like, to me, you're a walking miracle in a lot of ways. Anybody that I see who's just said, has devoted their life to how can I give? How can I help? How can I rescue? Which is literally what you're doing. I'm always so inspired and moved, and, I want to know. I want to know what got you there. You know what I mean? And so was there a moment where you were like, what was the moment when you decided this is what I'm going to do? I'm going to save, what's your slogan? I don't rest till what's your slogan about? You don't rest till every animal's saved? Something incredible like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat until every animal is fed. I will not eat breakfast. I will not eat lunch until every animal that I feed is fed first. Then I eat.
And how many are you feeding? How many are you
feed over
feeding these
100
days?
cats. I feed about 100 cats a day, 7 days a week. I just returned right before we went live. So I got in it was about 1:37 my time. And I'm not feeling my best right now. I was exposed to someone with COVID.
Oh, honey.
Having really bad body aches as we speak. So I'm
goodness.
fine. I'm good. I got tested. I got tested Tuesday. 2 tests negative.
Okay.
But I still am having body aches.
Okay. So fingers crossed, and send up a bunch of prayers. I'm going to do that right now. So I want to keep asking questions because I'm so interested in you and how you went from gangbanging and, retribution and having your house, shot upon, and to who you are and where you are now. But I know that you have a losing it story for me, so I'm going to keep asking you a few questions, but if I ask you a question and your answer is, well, that's the story I have to tell you, go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, is that okay if I keep asking you stuff because I find you so interesting?
Yeah. And I can break it down in a series of how I went from that life to this life, if you want me to. I can break it down in order of how it happened and why I am the way I am now.
Okay.
There were certain events that happened along the way.
Yeah.
That God was showing me. He kept showing me things, and it was supernatural things. It was things in the spiritual realm, and He would allow other people to see it. He would allow other people to see it, but He was calling me, and I kind of had one foot in the streets and one foot, on His side. And, the Bible says it's better to be on one side or the other than be lukewarm. So in other words, He don't want you straddling the fence. He wants you either for Him or He wants you all the way on the other side. And I was straddling the fence, but He kept protecting me and sending me signs. And I finally fully submitted. And here we are now. But ask away.
So what was the moment? And it sounds like a bunch of things happened, but was there a moment where not only were you sort of turned away from this other life, but you knew that your calling was the calling that you have today, which is to be helping and rescuing animals? Was there a moment, or was it several things?
The moment I knew it was rescue, it was meeting Henry. But the moment, there was no one moment that made me change my life. There was a bunch of moments. So I can't give you one particular moment, the reason I changed my life, because it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
There were several things that led up to that. But the moment I knew it was rescue, that I was called to do rescue, was the day that I met Henry, November the 15th, 2015. That's the moment I knew that this was the rest of my life right here, devoted to animals.
So tell us how you met Henry.
I'm at work, got ready to leave work, 3 p.m. I always take my book bag to my car a couple of minutes before, warm my car up, and there he was. He was just standing by my front tire, little gray kitten, about 4 months old. At that point, I hated cats, did not like cats, did not come to your house if you had cats, severely allergic. They were too sneaky, didn't like anything about them, didn't want to be about them, didn't want to be around you if you had cats.
So you didn't grow up with cats? Did you grow up with dogs?
I had a dog. My sister had a dog. So, it wasn't like, we had dogs our whole lives, but, I considered myself a dog. I just didn't like cats. I didn't want to be around them at all.
They're sneaky. I mean, I can understand. I laughed when you said that because, cat, it's easy to go, I don't know if I trust a cat, because a cat's not going to run up to you and lick you and wag your tail. Cats are different. They're like,
you can hear a dog coming. You can hear a dog coming.
You can hear a dog coming, and a dog will let you know right away whether they like you or not. A cat, not so much. Yeah. So there's Henry by your car, and you're thinking what?
I don't know. The way he looked at me, it just did something to me, touched me. I can't. No amount of I can't put it into word. I can't articulate it. I've been on 3 podcasts this week. They've all asked the same question, and I still can't put it into words what he did to me that day. I mean, I've had extreme highs in my life. I've had extreme lows. And as far as the extreme highs, whether it was money, whether it was meeting Dominique Wilkins, my childhood idol, 3 times, getting his autograph, taking pictures, sitting one-on-one, talking to him. None of that stuff made me feel like I felt when I first met Henry. Like he just did something to me. It just opened up some compassion in me that I didn't know existed.
Wow.
And he's the reason now why I've TNR'd over 650 cats and have found homes for 139 cats. He's the reason I feed 100 cats every single day, even when I'm sick, So he is the total sole reason why I do this. No other reason.
But I have to say that, first of all, I have tears in my eyes because I love that so much. And I love that. And that's one of the things that I love about animals is that they open up something in us, and he opened up a compassion in you, like you said, but that compassion was just waiting. Right? Because that cat, Henry's not going to, no cat or dog or, turtle is going to open something in us that's not already there. Right? So that compassion was just waiting to be found. So did you scoop him up and put him in your truck right away, in your car right away?
It was a 45-day period of me just feeding him until I gained his trust. And then on day 45, he went home with me.
And is Henry still with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Henry's not going anywhere.
No, but he might. I just want to make sure Henry was still alive.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Because 4 months old. So good. All right. So wow. So that's so fantastic. And how? So you make this change. First of all, I love the fact that it took you 45 days, and I follow you on Instagram, so I know that for those of you guys who are just meeting Calvin, he does not give up. He does not give up. It's like I've just been following you about that dog, those 3 dogs, those 3 pits that were chained up, and you were like, one of the pits that he went back to get was gone, and so he's like a detective. You're like trying to follow and figure out where that dog went, right? And coming up with $250 cash to try and get this dog back.
Oh, it ended up being $400.
And where do you think that came from? Where did that side of you that's so tenacious and like
the streets? How I grew up. Mm-hmm. Streets. That's why I don't mind knocking on these doors. That's why if you have dogs and you're not taking care of them and I offer assistance, that's why they're gonna get taken. That's why they're coming with me. So the streets. That's why I love the way God let me grew up, because, you know, I can deal with anybody. I can deal with anybody that come on the other side of the door. Somebody said, you know, we worry about you that a lunatic might be on the other side of that door when you knock about that dog. And I just said, you know, it'll be a sad day for the lunatic, because, you know, I'm good. I'm totally good when I go. It's not like I'm naive or green. It's not like I'm knocking on these doors about these dogs just, you know, unprepared.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm
because
always
you lived
prepared.
on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been through it. It's not like, oh, you were some, some kid who
It's
went to
not like
boarding
these
school.
guys wanted to just give these dogs to me in the beginning, because the beginning, if you remember, it was no.
Yeah.
It was pressure that got these dogs off those chains. And
Yeah.
that comes from how I grew up. You know, I speak the language of the
Yeah.
hood. So,
Yeah.
you know, I got people telling me, well, hey, you know, we'll go and knock. And I'm like, you know, I hate to bring up color, but these are some older white women. We'll go knock and we'll get them. And I'm like, you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
You know, I showed them statistics of the city that I live in, and it's the most dangerous city in Alabama, and always like top 5 in the nation. That's nothing to brag on, but you know, it would be suicide for y'all going to this place, trying to get these dogs. Just sit back, let me do my thing, and the dogs would be released.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I get so
because
many messages, and I understand they're trying to help, and it comes from a good place, but let me do what I do. And as you saw, if you watched the story,
yeah.
it only took about 3 weeks for me to get the dogs off the chain.
Yeah. Yeah.
People think
Yeah.
it can happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I love what you said about, I thank God for the background that I have, or for going through what I have, because you prepared you for this.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, a tough upbringing, regardless of color or socioeconomic situations, going through a lot of stuff prepares you to be tenacious, prepares you for stuff coming at you. And so where do you think, aside from living on the streets, what's some of the characteristics you got from your parents, like your mom or your dad? Because it sounds like you have good relationship with both of them.
Yeah, we're not gonna say living on the streets. I lived at home.
No, I didn't mean that. I
Growing
meant
up
up on the street. I apologize.
Yeah,
Growing up
yeah,
on the streets. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I got, my grandmother. I think my work ethic come from her. You know, I'm always working 2 jobs. Like I've had 3 jobs before.
Yeah.
My work ethic, and the reason I went out to feed today, body aching, praying that I don't have COVID. I've been out with double pneumonia. And people always like, let me help, we can help. And that's fine. It's just, I like to do myself. I had spinal fusion, and on September the 9th of last year, I had spinal fusion. And on September 24th, I was back out feeding. Probably a little quick, but that's just who I am. And I think that came from my grandmother. She's just one that quitting and giving up, that wasn't in her vocabulary. She lived to be 101. And I think I got that from her. It was, you couldn't tell her she couldn't do something, because she was going to find a way to do it.
I love that. I love that.
The work ethic, my dad as well. My dad worked 40 years without missing one day of work.
Oh my goodness.
Per his job.
Yeah.
And this is like the last 10 years needing hip replacement. And the owner of the restaurant said, young kids would come in and they'll have a cold, or, they'll cut their finger and they'll call off from work because they got the sniffles. And he like, this man for the last 10 years can barely walk, have to shift, shuffle side to side because his hips need hip replacement, and he still won't call off. So I get my work ethic from like him and my grandmother. And my mom, I think I got from her just like compassion and how to love people and things of that nature.
I love
So,
hearing you. I love hearing you talk, Calvin, and because to me, you're this great, wonderful, interesting mix of like no BS and tenacious and compassion and love. So it's such a great combination. And I just want to say this, and we'll say it again, but I want to say that, the white ladies want to go out and go door to door, but that's ridiculous and not really probably the best use of their time. But one of the ways that we can help you is we can donate. We can send donations. And if you go to Calvin's Instagram page, which is Black Noah, there's a link there where people can donate, correct?
It's Black Noah 1.
Black Noah 1. At Black Noah 1. And we'll post that, and when that'll be on our Instagram page as well and everything. So yeah, I've given some money. I'm going to give more.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Are you kidding? I mean, when I say I've given some, but look, $5 from 25 people, it ends up being a lot of money. So,
exactly.
If all you can give is 5, fine. But 5 is 5, and 5 will feed, quite a few cats. And,
exactly.
So you don't have to do a lot of money. Okay. Exactly. So, as I said, I feel like I could just talk to you because I want all the stories, and I find you so interesting. Let's take a quick break and listen to a word from our sponsors, shall we? Did you know that 75% of consumers judge a company's credibility based on their website design? It's true. 70% of people are less likely to trust a company that uses poorly produced content. Makes sense. Over 85% of people say they look at their phones during Super Bowl commercials that cost millions of dollars. So they're not looking at those commercials, they're looking at their phones. In these times of no contact delivery and Zoom meetings, are you fully taking advantage of the internet to grow your business? Are you? Well, cleanse your mind of concern and let Ronnie Whaley set you up. That is right. For a limited time only, our very own Ronnie is offering an all-in-one package called the New Face Package. And it's awesome. It really is. He's so smart what he's doing here. The package consists of 3 main services. Number 1, a total revamp or creation of your new, sleek, modern, and beautiful state-of-the-art website. Number 2, growing and establishing social media channels, as well as a tailor-made social media strategy with a consultation that has your specific goals in mind. And number 3, branded content production and art direction that is in line with your brand and message. He gave me a brand. He gave me a message. Slots are available now. For a limited time, this package starts at $500 for a limited time. And the starting packages being $500, financing is available with PayPal's Pay in 4 option at checkout. Pay in 4 different, let me say that again. Pay in 4 different installments. From Southeast Asia to New York City, Ronnie has helped companies head in the right direction by branding, designing, and modernizing their online presence, image, and facilitation. Whether you're a small business, author, podcaster, or rapping magician, a rapping magician? Wow. And what rapping magician does not need an online presence that speaks and converts you into income for you? Don't get left behind and get your business online today. Visit www.ronniefw.com/newface.
Hey everyone, it's time to step away from your Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, or whatever it is you're falling into and step back into your dreams. Yes, it's 2021, it's a new year. We've got vaccines on the horizon and your dreams are still sitting there waiting. That memoir that you've been promising yourself to finish is just waiting to be written. Your novel or screenplay that you've done 3 drafts of but needs a 4th is begging you for some motivation. Now is the time to get back to those dreams of writing that you may have abandoned. So, say you need some help when it comes to writing. You're stuck, not sure where to go, not sure how to create compelling characters, tension, etc. Not a problem. Nelsie has got you covered. Go to nelsiespencer.com and click on Work with Nelsie at the top, and there you'll find classes, one-on-one mentoring, and even a virtual writing coach. Virtual writing coach? What the hell is that? Well, go to nelsiespencer.com and click on Work with Nelsie to find out. There's also a roundtable, an ongoing writers group where you have support and inspiration and community. Step away from all those things that are non-productively filling up your day and step back into your dreams. And now you can book a free 20-minute consultation with Nelsie when you go to her site. So, work with Nelsie today at nelsiespencer.com. Now back to the episode.
Do you have a specific losing it story for me that you want to share?
My losing it story probably would be losing my grandmother as well as my best friend to diabetes.
Oh.
Those two things probably impacted me the most. You know, I've had a lot of loss in my life, a whole lot of loss. But every time I just bounce back. I don't know. Every time I lose something, it's like it makes me stronger. But those two things really impacted me the most. Me and my grandmother, we was very, very close. She was the rock of the family.
Is she your mom's mom or your dad's mom?
My mom's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was the rock of the family, and she would probably, I could see her now, man. If she could see what I'm doing now, she would probably be totally shocked. Like, he has 4 cats living with him. She would not believe that I got 4 cats because she knew I wasn't an animal person.
How long ago did she die, Calvin?
She passed away 11 years now.
Oh.
It's been 11 years. April will be 11 years.
Yeah.
So we're going on the 11-year mark.
So was it sudden or
she was 101.
Oh, it was 101. But
yeah.
But was it, and you said diabetes? Was that the thing?
No, that was my best friend.
Your best friend. So
she just died from, it was just her course. Uh-huh. She had lived her course. Her kidney shut down at the end. It came pretty rapidly, but that was just from being, her age.
Yeah. So it's 11 years ago, and your grandma, who you're really close to, is 101. And correct. Were you able to say goodbye? Was it, I know it wasn't unexpected because she was 101, but how I spent so much
time with that lady. Just not just at the end. I'm talking about my whole life. But I was the last person she spoke to. Mm-hmm. She told me she loved me. Those are her last words on this earth. She whispered in my ear she loved me, and she never spoke again. So yeah, I spent time with her. I got to tell her, goodbye. So the day it happened, she left, transitioned away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no regrets about that. It's a big void in the family, but we have no regrets because God gave her a beautiful, long life.
Yeah. But you were saying that you've bounced back from a lot of loss, but was it hard to bounce back from losing her?
That was probably the hardest thing I ever had to bounce back. In the beginning, it affected me a lot because I had never had significant loss like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was hard to shake back from in the beginning, but I used it to motivate me. I still use it to motivate me. When I'm tired, when I don't feel like going out here to trap these cats to get them to the vet, I always think about how she never would stop. She never would quit. That's what I get. If there's one lesson I ever got from her, it's don't give up.
Fantastic.
That's why when I trapped that cat Sunday, if you go back and look at my Instagram, Friday, I said the pregnant mom, the Siamese.
Yeah.
On Friday night, I posted a picture of her and I said I would get her in the next 48 hours. Sunday, I had her. That's what I get from my grandmother.
That's
determination,
fantastic.
Not giving up. So
yeah,
I was prepared to sit out there 10 hours if I had to get that cat that day. Because I had said 48 hours I was going to have her. Sunday was 48 hours. So I had to get her. And that's from my grandmother.
That's from your grandmother. Now, do you feel like I have quite a few friends that have had really strong relationships with their grandma, and I actually have one client that I work with. She's writing a sort of a memoir, and she always talks about her grandma, like she can hear her grandma talking to her almost. Do you have that kind of a relationship? Do you feel like even though she's passed and she's crossed over, that she's, maybe watching or talking to you?
I don't. I just what we have is just everything she instilled in me.
Yeah.
I don't, and personally, I don't want to start preaching here and get all biblical on you, but my beliefs are once they pass, they're passed because, I know it sounds good, hey, my grandmother's watching me. I know she can see me. I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
I totally believe in God. I have a great relationship with God, but the Bible tells me that once they pass, they're past.
Uh-huh.
They're resting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be a reason for Gabriel to blow the trumpet and everybody arises to be judged. So it can't contradict itself like that.
Yeah.
So I believe once they pass, I don't think they're, she's
not
in
watching
heaven.
you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's not in heaven. Moses is not in heaven. Noah is not in heaven. That sounds good, but according to the Bible, they're not in heaven yet, because there would be no reason for Gabriel to blow the trumpet and every saint arises to be judged. So, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Got it.
That's how I look at it.
Got it. So, and talk to me a little bit about your best friend that you lost to diabetes. How long ago was that?
2016. He passed in 2016. That hurt me, man. That really hurt me. Best friend, he died of diabetes, complications to diabetes. I watched his sight leave him. I watched him go blind. He just wasn't taking care of himself the way he should. And I watched him go completely blind.
Oh my.
He went to this school for the blind down here in Talladega to learn how to, live with, becoming blind. And he was depressed, but he got over that. I watched him get married, meet a girl there.
No.
I watched him get married.
Oh my goodness.
And unfortunately I watched him pass.
Oh.
And that hurt me, man. It's probably the best man I ever met in my life.
How long had you known him? How long had you guys been friends?
We actually became friends once, and I got guys who I've been friends with since kids. But this guy came up from New Orleans right after the flood. So I'm thinking back in 2005. So we had known each other for about 11 years before he passed. And I mean,
he was just your guy.
I can't even explain it. I mean, He would meet you today. Very first time, he could be behind you in the checkout line at a grocery store, and you could never seen you in his life. And he could hear the conversation between you and the cashier, and you're $50 short on your groceries, so you got to put some things back. No, I got it. He's going to pay for it. And you can say, well, hey, let me get your number and so I can get it back. No, I don't want it. That's my way of God letting me, that's just who he was.
So he's just generous and giving and sweet.
And expected nothing back. Didn't want anything back. Just happy. I've never met somebody that happy in my life. Like it used to make my mind boggle. Like, how can this guy be happy every single day? Like, never seen him mad. Never, even when he went blind, he wasn't mad or anything. He got down.
What was his name, Calvin? What was his name?
Charles. We called him Charles Cooper.
Charles Cooper.
Yeah, he was from New Orleans. He was a great artist. Artist.
Charles Cooper. Wow. And how old was he when he passed?
Charles would have been about, let's see, it was about 5 years, probably like 41 years ago. 41 years old.
He was 41 years old. So sad.
Right.
Man, I lost my best friend, when she was 52, about 12. God, I've got my, I'm recording this on video too on my phone, and I keep inadvertently putting my foot on the cord, so it keeps going like this. So, but my best friend who we met waiting tables in New York because we were both actors. Her name was Lori Marker, and we wrote a 2-character play together. We lived 5 blocks away from each other in New York, and she got a degenerative brain disease, and she died when she was 52. And it was, and you just go, how do I, first of all, like, it sounds like Charles was like this bright light, and how can they not be here anymore? It doesn't make sense because they're really vibrant people, and especially to die young, and especially somebody who's you're so close to. So I'm really sorry about that.
Right.
And how did you, how'd you sort of go on from that?
It was hard. We had like a little circle. It was another guy and a female. It was the 4 of us. It was like our little crew. And we would always go over his house and watch movies and eat pizza and stuff like that. And, to cope with it now and to help us deal with it, we still get together and we go out to eat. We'll call each other and be like, hey, it's time to do it for Coop. We called him Coop. And we meet up, and that's how we help each other get through it. It's all 3 of us that help each other because he was there for all 3 of us. He was our leader.
Wow. So that's really hard to lose your leader.
He was our leader and I'm older than him, but he was still, because he was the wise one. He was always the one. I act more off the emotions. And so before I act, I would call him. And he is not a yes man. So if it was stupid what I was talking about, he was going to let me know. He called me Tuck, short for Tucker. Tuck, do you hear yourself right now? Do you really hear yourself right now? That's stupid. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to calm down, and he would just talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And, I would calm down and I would listen to him.
So Coop was the voice. Coop was the voice of reason. Tuck, you're the emotional one. And Coop was like, now, voice of reason.
Yeah.
I love that. And that happens a lot of times in friendships, right? You've got these two different personalities.
He was the one, if I see a guy that's kicking his dog, I'm the one going to jump out the car and go punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Coop is the one that's going to call the police and report the guy and get his tag and things like that,
Yeah.
So we was kind of like Starsky and Hutch or something.
So now that Coop is gone, if you see somebody kicking their dog, what do you do?
Well, I saw that recently, and I still jumped out the car and confronted the guy. So I haven't quite mastered my Coop skills yet.
Gotta master those Coop skills.
I haven't mastered those yet. I still jumped out. I saw that's about a month ago, and I jumped out, and it kind of got ugly.
How'd that how'd it go down? What happened?
I confronted him, and words was said, and I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
He got my message, and he got out of there. I just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a dicey one, though. That is a dicey one. I was on my back porch the other day. I have a dog, which she's down there. I would let you see her, but I'd screw up all the equipment. And so I'm back on my little back patio, and I hear a dog barking, and then I hear like a dog's being hit, and I don't know where it's coming from. And I'm just I stock still, and I'm listening. And I said, I'm here, and I'm listening, and you better not hit that dog again. And I've been living in this house for over 2 years. I'd never heard it before and I never heard it since. But, and my husband's always, because I'm more like you, Calvin. I'm more like jump out of the car thing. And I'm, a 5'2" little white lady. And my husband's always like, honey, what are you doing? This guy couldn't see me. It's not like I did anything brave there, but I am more talk now, think later kind of a person. So yeah. And, okay. So you have this wonderful friend Coop and you lose him at the age of 41 and he's like your leader and your mentor. And before that, you have your amazing, wonderful grandmother who was 101, but you got to have a nice goodbye with her. How about with Coop? Did you get to have a good goodbye with him?
Nah, the last time I seen him, a friend of mine and myself, and he knew the mutual friend. We went over. And he moved into this apartment, and we would go over because, like I say, at this point he was totally blind from the complications. So we would go over and just sit with him, listen to music. He was a big music fan. We would go over and listen to Wu-Tang Clan. He loved the Wu-Tang Clan, and it was a Sunday. We went over and I remember us listening to some Wu-Tang, and he wanted some fries from McDonald's. So we went to get him some fries, and I think he got him a Big Mac.
And probably the kind of stuff he shouldn't be eating, right?
Yeah. He sent me into the store to get him some brownies, and I went in and act like I looked for him, but I came back out and said, hey, they didn't have any, even though they did. And once I drove off, he said, Tuck, I know they had the brownies, man. I know what you're doing. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. They was out. They didn't have no brownies, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, he knew I was lying to him. He knew why I was lying to him. He didn't need
you're a good friend.
Sugar. So, that was the last day I seen him, and about a week later, his mom found him on the floor. And he was already in a diabetic coma, and he never came out of it.
Oh
He never came out of it.
I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. And so those are two really big losses, and you've had other losses. And I guess my question would be, how, if somebody out there is just lost, a grandmother that they've been close to, or a relative like that, or a dear friend, do you have any suggestions or advice that you might give them about like what helps you, what they might do to make it through?
Everybody grieves differently. And I tell people, grieve how you want to grieve. Mm-hmm. There's no blueprint to grieving.
No.
There's no time limit in grieving. So first of all, grieve how you need to. That's the most important thing I would tell somebody, don't let anybody tell you differently.
Yeah.
Also take with you and cherish all the moments that y'all spent together. That's what gets me by. Just, cause even though Coop is gone and my grandmother is gone, the memories are not gone.
Yeah.
I'm always had the memories until I die.
Yeah.
So until I pass, I still got the memories. And I have done a lot better on every other situation except animals when it comes to Coop. I ask myself now, what would Coop do?
I like that.
I haven't learned that with the animals, because if I see you abusing the animals, then it's going to be me. You're going to deal with me. But
which I have to say, Calvin, I love so much, because when I look at your Instagram feed and, your heart is so much in the right place, and yet you're this big dude who doesn't take any BS, and you're on the right side,
I have a saying. I'm holy enough to pray for you, but I'm still hood enough to punch you in your mouth. So, you know, I'm saved. I'm saved enough that I can pray for you, but I'm still from Compton and I still can punch you in the mouth. So,
okay,
you know, if you don't violate dogs, little kids, the elderly, or women, we good. We have no problems. That's just how I am. I'm a protector.
We need that quote on some merch for you. I'm holy enough to pray for you, but I am hood enough to punch you in the mouth. I want it on a t-shirt right now. Am I right? That's some good merch.
That's me. That's you get what you see. And I had so many people say they love me for that. They say
Absolutely.
you're not trying to be some glamour guys. We love you because you are. I had one woman tell me last night, you're the most authentic person I've ever met.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love that too. Hey, what did Jesus do to the moneylenders, right? He was kicking, you know what I mean? It's not
turned
like
over tables and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not like, yes, in a perfect world, maybe we don't punch somebody in the mouth, but who's going to protect the innocent that isn't being protected,
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I'm a peaceful person. I'm a very peaceful person. Like, I'm the most loyal person you'll ever meet. I come in peace. When I come to these houses and knock on these doors that have these animals, these dogs chained up, I come in peace. I come to offer you free vetting. I come to offer you free dog food that I'm getting donated to me. I want to help you help this animal.
Yeah.
But if you are not going to help the dog, then I'm going to get the dog. It's that simple.
Yeah, which and for me makes perfect sense. Seems fair to me because you know what? If you're not helping that dog, if you're not taking care of that dog is a responsibility.
Yeah.
And that dog trusts you and loves you, and that dog doesn't have opposable thumbs and can't go out and undo its own chain. You have a responsibility, and if you do not revere that dog, that animal, you don't get to have it. That's right. What I say.
That's how I look at it.
I'm with you, baby. I am with you. Wow. So, okay. So tell people, just tell people a little bit about how they can find you on Instagram and the best way to help you continue to do what you do, and anything else that you feel like you want to say about animals and rescue and that arena.
And they can find me on Instagram, as you said earlier, at Black Noah 1. Best way to help me is just continue to support. I have merch that I post on. If you go to my link in my bio, I have a couple of shirts. All proceeds go to vet. I'm pretty sure you see all the animals I have at the vet every single week. I got 3 dogs, the pit bulls. They're there now, boarded until we find fosters for. That's $27 a night per dog.
And can people contact you if they want to foster?
Oh, definitely. As long as they're in Birmingham or the surrounding areas, of course.
Great.
I do a home visit and vet reference, and we can go from there. Mm-hmm. They can purchase merch from me through the link in my bio. There's other ways that they can donate to help support. All proceeds go toward vet fees, or food, mostly vet fees, because I have so many animals at this vet. I think I'm probably the reason the lights are still on at this vet. Seriously, I just recently took a possum there.
I saw the possum. Oh my God.
So I have everything at this vet, from raccoons to possums to you name it, birds.
I love the possum post is so great because the thing about Calvin, it's like he's driving along, the next thing you know he sees a possum and he's like stops in the middle of the street, making sure that nobody else can
Hello, this is Ronnie. This is my third take of taking this interlude part, but anyway, this part of the interview gets cut off and because Zoom decides to stop working, and I fix it and then we come back to the interview. Just thought I would explain what went wrong here, and also I wanted to put some elevator music in this episode just because. And so here we go with the second part of the interview. Okay.
All right. Got it?
Yes.
Did you? Right. That's pretty impressive that I kind of knew what I was doing there. Am I right? Come on. So okay. So back we come. We had a little snafu there, guys, with the Zoom recording. So okay, and obviously, Calvin, I'm going to say something that I think everybody knows. But if you've got a cat or a dog, you spay or neuter. You spay or neuter your animal. You find a spay or neuter clinic. You do not let your dog or cat have puppies, because those puppies and kittens have puppies and kittens, and animals are put down by the thousands every day. So be smart and spay and neuter.
Please spay and neuter. It's so important.
So important. And follow Calvin, also known as Black Noah 1 on Instagram, and support him. He is, in my opinion, a big, beautiful black angel sent from heaven. And this was so great to meet you.
I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, you're the best. You are the best. Oh, I have 3 questions that I'm supposed to end with. Number 1, what's something that you hope to lose in the next year? Something you hope to gain in the next year? And something you hope you never lose?
Something I hope to lose in the next year. This extra 25 pounds that I put on during the quarantine stuff.
All right.
I had lost 60 pounds. I gained 25 to 30 of that back. So I plan on losing that. As soon as I feel a little better, I'm gonna start taking a lot much better care of myself, walking, things of that nature. I've started drinking a lot more water. I've cut all sodas out again. That's how I lost the weight in the beginning. I cut all sodas out, all juice. I was just drinking water. I've started that again because that's how I picked the weight back up this time. I went back to my old vice, drinking, Sunkiss, several times a day. And so something I plan to lose in the next year, or I would say this year, is lose that 25, 30 pounds back. Second one,
something you hope to gain in the next year.
My sanctuary, and I think that'll be gained in the next 90 days.
No kidding.
I'm gonna say 90 to 120 days, 3 to 4 months. I think I should have my sanctuary. I've saved so much of the donations that's come in. I'm close to purchasing a place.
You got your eye on it.
It's not going to be, something where I could take 100 dogs. It'll be small, but I'll be able to save more cats and more dogs. And situations where there's a cat that I can't take now, or a couple of cats that I can just pick up because they're totally friendly and I don't have a place, they'll be able to be taken immediately. Things like those 3 pit bulls, where they're boarded right now, $27 a night.
Oh my.
They would be able to come immediately. So I think that'll happen in the next 90 to 120 days.
Great.
Something that I hope I never lose is the compassion that I have to save these animals. And I'm pretty sure I'm not, because this is God's work. And I told everybody that from day one. Very first person who interviewed me on a local news channel here, I told her this is God's work, because I didn't like cats. So God sent Henry to start this whole journey I'm on. So that's something I hope I never lose, the compassion and the passion that I have to do this, because I love it. I love it. I couldn't see myself doing anything else but being a champion and an activist and fighting for these animals.
Good. And you're fantastic. So I love all three of your answers are fantastic. And yes, lose that 25 pounds, and those little steps that you've taken will make a big difference. And I'm so excited about your sanctuary, guys. Whoever's listening, go immediately. When you end this podcast, go immediately and, send Calvin $20 because then he can get the sanctuary a little more quickly and save a few more animals. And of course, you won't lose your compassion because Henry opened up your heart and you have this beautiful open heart. And thank you for doing all that you do, and for letting me talk to you today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I enjoyed myself.
Oh, good, Calvin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Give Henry a kiss. Give Henry a big kiss for me and scratch him under the chin. Did I tell you that he was amazing?
Yeah, I was there.
I know. I wasn't really talking to you. I was talking to that listener out there that we.
Oh, that guy.
You know, right?
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. That one listener. What'd you think, listener?
I'll get his weekly email. See what he thought.
You guys talk too long at the beginning. No. I love your haircut. No, but Calvin was, and here's the thing. When I saw him on Instagram, I was like, oh, this guy's got a story. But that story blew my mind. I mean, was that amazing?
Yeah, that was really crazy. When he said he said one night he just listed how many friends he's lost to gang related activities. And he said 40. It was like, oh my God, that is crazy. 40.
Crazy. And you know, when I count how many friends I've lost to gang violence, 0. I mean, I know that's so surprising to look at me. Yeah. Did you think for a moment?
I was gonna be like, wait, what? Is this something I don't know? From the mean streets of SoCal?
I had the tear tattoo. I had the tear tattoo removed. But yeah, that gang I belonged to in Palos Verdes, it was rough.
I heard about this. They've been around.
No, but my God, not only that, but his grandmother, his 101-year-old grandmother. Oh my God. And that friend he lost, the friend he lost to diabetes.
Too young.
Just too young. And just, it's like when I saw him on Instagram, he's such a great combination of like badass and compassion.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to know more. I want to know more. And he surprised me. Even though I knew that he had a story, he still surprised me. So guys, go to Instagram, go to Black Noah 1 on Instagram. He just recently, since we recorded this, I follow him. He just recently rescued a cat has some kind of injury on its back. And anyway, go and donate because this is a guy who is doing God's work. I mean, whoever God is to you, God is, spirit, whatever. He is fighting the good fight and, don't have 3 lattes and send him $20,
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he's getting closer to getting his I'm sorry, I forgot the word.
His retreat, his that's not the word he used. Damn it. Between the two of us, we should be able to come up with that word.
Come on.
That was so sad. Not retreat.
This is not good stuff.
You know that our one listener is yelling. He's yelling the word out.
Sanctuary?
He's yelling.
Is it sanctuary?
It's sanctuary.
Is that it?
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And that's from like Notre Dame, in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, when he's yelling sanctuary. Because do you not know that movie? Come on.
I watched it a very long time ago.
Okay.
The Disney
you watched
one.
the animated version. Yeah. And I watched the original. Okay. So,
I did not know there was other version of that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. With So anyway, sanctuary. He almost has enough money for his sanctuary. So send in, send in $40.
Send in 100.
Send in 50. Yeah. 100. I'm sending, you know what? I'm going to send in, I don't want to make a big number because I don't have a big number yet for today. But I'm going to, when we're done, I'm going to send him some money. I'm going to send him $50. Yeah. So Calvin Tucker, Black Noah 1, he's awesome. And he's got merch. I got a mug from him.
Oh, really?
I got a mug from him a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Nice.
He's got a cool little logo. Yeah.
Nice.
So he's got to get merch with that slogan he said it and then I coined it, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I'm too Christian to kill you, but I'm hood enough to hit you. But I know that's not right. But
you got the essence of what he was trying to say.
Got the essence.
Yeah.
I'm a good person, but I won't. Yeah. Anyway. So, we have a listener letter, don't we?
Yeah, we have a letter. So
we have a letter
week,
addressing. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, last week we asked the listeners if they had a story about being kind of creepy or kind of weird, and then you confessed your pastimes, and then.
I can't tell you how many times I thought about that this week, where Ronnie was like, "You drove by his house?" I was like, "Yeah." That's called stalking. That's like really what stalking is, not just Googling. It's like I was the creepiest person on the planet. Yes, everyone my age did that at some point.
Well, that's good to know.
Every desperate, insecure woman looking for love that.
I guess that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody wants love, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Let me see if I can. Let me find the letter. And okay, fan letter. Good. Okay, here we go. Hi, Nelsie. Here's a cringy confession. Sometimes I look at my old text messages with my ex, who broke up with me many months back, and sometimes I can see when he's online. Oh, one day I was going through Tinder, swiping left and right and whatnot, and sometimes I like to take screenshots of Tinder boys that have funny photos or funny captions and send them to my girlfriends for a laugh. So I think I know where this is going, and it's not good. So, as usual, I took a bunch of screenshots of awkward and weird Tinder boys and texted them to my friends, only to realize that I didn't send 10 screenshots of Tinder boys to my friends. I sent 10 screenshots of Tinder boy profiles to my ex. OMG. Okay. My ex, who I've not talked to in months, to which he replied, "Good luck on Tinder."
That's bad.
Oh my God. There was no coming back from that. And that was my cringy, creepy story. From, of course, Anonymous. Oh my Lord. That just made my heart hurt. I got like a little horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. Wow.
That's bad. That's bad.
It's so dangerous. Am I right?
So he knows where she's at right now in life.
Right.
With the whole breakup situation. It's funny. What do you think? What do you think he thought when he got like 10 screenshots of guys on Tinder?
And not even like, oh, these are guys I'm interested in. 10 screenshots of like kind of the awkward ones.
Yeah, no context.
Like, right. So he probably, he thinks.
Look at all these guys.
He thinks so many things. He thinks, why is she texting? Number one, why is she texting me?
Yeah.
I broke up with her. Why hasn't she moved on? Number two, why is she texting me pictures of guys on Tinder? And number three, this is who she's interested in?
I feel like he must have thought like, okay, so she's showing off all of these guys like, hey, look at this. Look at me. I'm so available to 10 of these guys right here. And he's like,
yes. What? Yeah. Oh, good. Because you got the guy point of view, right? Yeah. What would you have thought if you got that?
I would have been like, oh, she's obviously not over me and wants to prove how valuable she is to all these men on Tinder. Apparently she's on Tinder too. And she has a certain type, I guess.
Yeah, she has a certain type, and wow, am I that type?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Oh, man.
I would have definitely blocked my ex if that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, oh God. I have an ex-friend that I had to block.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to go down that road. So, yeah. Ooh, scary. Poor thing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Anonymous.
That's sad.
Yeah. It is. It's sad. And you know what? what is that expression? Rejection is God's protection. If you have somebody that's broken up with you, no matter how heartbroken you are, it's a gift, because that person isn't the person for you.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of something that happened this week. I don't know if I should bring it up, but I'm going to.
Okay, bring it up.
Bring it up. So I had a girlfriend in high school. I was probably like 15 or 16. And, we were together for 8 months or something in high school.
Which is a long time in high school.
It's like 5 years or something. And, and then she broke up with me. And since then, that was, I don't know, I'm 25 now. So a long time. Almost 9 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I didn't even think about that.
I know. But... You're so old, Ronnie. That's so sad.
Yeah, but so we're still friends on social media and stuff. And I found out she got engaged. And that's the first time an ex I have has gotten engaged or married or, anything.
Wow.
So it's kind of, I had a weird feeling. It's not, I didn't know how to express it. It's I didn't feel bad. Because we hadn't been together in so long, but I also felt something, oh, that's kind of it. That was the feeling, really.
Yeah, you feel something. Oh, well, right. What is that feeling? You don't even know, because first of all, you were so young. Second of all, it's been so long, but it's because she's no longer frozen back there, right? She's no longer this person, right? Suddenly she's like, oh, she has a life too, and she's gotten older, and she's marrying someone. How could she marry someone? We're still juniors in high school, right?
Yeah, I guess it puts in perspective how much time has passed, or or, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
So none of your friends have gotten married yet, Ronnie?
I have one friend that's engaged, and I'm actually best man for the wedding, and that's coming up.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's the first time. Actually, no, I did. I was just in Australia a couple years ago for a friend's wedding. He got married. So
but not that many.
Not that many, no. Not that many, no. Yeah.
And that's kind of good, I think.
You think so?
I don't think you want to get married in your early 20s. I think you want to be
I'm actually engaged.
You are not.
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Are you engaged?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. I was like, wow, whoever's engaged to, she is really understanding, because all he does is work. And he's never mentioned her name. It's he's got her in the basement. She's tied up.
Yeah, me and Adam.
Engaged.
Yeah, exactly. Engaged.
Right, you and Adam are sharing this assistant.
Oh my God. Yeah, but no,
oh my
I'm
Lord.
not even close to being engaged, no.
Yeah, I was like, I moved to New Hampshire during a pandemic, and I got engaged.
No.
It's the woman at Quick Check. She doesn't know we're engaged, but I'm madly in love with her. Besides, she's the only person I ever see besides a boss. Okay, so given the wonderful, fabulous Calvin episode, I don't know. Do you think it would be saying goodbye? The way he got to say goodbye to his grandmother, but didn't get to say goodbye to his friend that died of diabetes? What are we looking for from listeners? You were looking at me with such a look on your face, like, what the fuck is she talking about? What is she talking about?
I was like, good.
We'll cut all this out. We'll cut all this out. Any part that makes either of us look stupid. Oh no, then we didn't.
How about this?
Okay.
I propose this.
Please propose, please.
How about a story of change in your life? You know how he had a childhood, or he grew up.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it happens to a lot of people, and that people change for the better. Sometimes people change for the worse and then become better. And so how about a story of change from your younger years?
He was born in Compton, was a gang member, came to Jesus literally, had a revelation through his cat, through Henry, changed his life profoundly.
Yeah.
Completely. Okay, exactly. I like it. That's a good one.
All right.
See, this is why he gets the big bucks.
So yeah, send your letters to losingitcontact@gmail.com or DM us at losingitpodcast on Instagram.
Yeah. And please, guys, we've had a glitch in our Apple.
Oh, that's right.
But you can listen to us anywhere else. And you can, of course, watch us on Instagram. And if you're hearing this, you're listening to us somewhere. Great shit. But tell your friends. I know what I wanted to say. Please write, review, and subscribe because that really makes a difference.
It does. It does.
Somebody, right? It makes a difference. So
it does.
Write, review. You know, we do have only 5-star reviews, so that's pretty darn cool. And only write review and only review if you're giving us 5 stars. Otherwise, you know,
you're really picky with the ratings there.
Okay, 4 stars is okay, but below that, just talk to your therapist about it. You know, I didn't really like the podcast. And my father never loved me. So, yeah. Is that it?
I think so.
Do we have more? We're done.
I think we're good. I
think the only thing I have to say is don't poop in the ocean. And we'll see you next week.
We will.
You came and you listened to the story. I hope so much that it didn't make you sorry, and I hope so much that you'll come back again.
Losing It, hosted by Nelsie Spencer, produced by me, Ronnie Whaley, theme song by Hunter Williams. Follow us online on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all podcasting platforms at Losing It Podcast. Viewers can email Nelsie with questions or comments about life, writing, comedy, or even your own Losing It story for a chance to be on the Losing It podcast at losingitcontact@gmail.com. For everything Nelsie and everything Losing It, visit us at nelsiespencer.com.